Hello audience, my name is Isaac Atiers, and I am the bard of Bardic Logs. I am your DM today. Now I present to you a wonderfully woven tale of bounty hunters going and hunting down the missing figures of Los Pelagos. Please join me and them in a Bardic Logs side quest. Inner Demons, Part 3. On the trail. Stepping back out of the church, you once again... Or maybe it's just stepping back, actually I don't want to assume. Stepping back into the church, you get, once again, that grand hall vibe. It's massive. Echoes as you guys walk. And as you guys are near the entrance, you now see Sister Buttress, the tabaxi that you talked to before, standing there with what you can only assume is Brother Maxwell and Brother Kronk, a half-orc and a drow. Bounty hunters, you said I should stay here. I talked to Maxwell and Crump. Crump has a little info he could give you.
Yeah, we heard from Father that you saw something at the graveyard fence.
Yes. Father has already told you. Then in that case, there's not much else I could tell you besides maybe. I mean, he was a very tall person, very tall, very bulky. I would have to say it's They were definitely taller than the average person. They're definitely not short, nor were they... They're menacing, I would have to say. Their build was formidable. If I was to have to take on them in hand-to-hand combat, that's the best description. I didn't catch them much.
Did you happen to see any eyes? Any colors? Anything like that?
Sadly not. I was just doing my rounds, going to our altar of the lost. In the back... we have an altar to those who we do not know their end or what fate they have become, and so we keep it clean as like a home bearing, like, come back please. And I was cleaning it and I heard like rustling and moving and metal clanging of the fence, and all I saw was the figure in the shadow move, menacing, big, and then they left. That's all I saw.
Did you happen to see the look of clothes? Were they wearing any sort of cloak or hood or anything?
Maybe a robe.
Maybe a robe. Okay.
Maybe. It was definitely longer, flowy. Could have been a dress. Could have definitely been a dress. Possibly a cape.
Maybe dress or cape. Okay.
If you'd like to talk to anyone with, sense of fashion, or who may have what in the town, you could always go to our town's. We have a few different clothes makers, but most of them make like the common clothes. Only one really dabbles in like fanciful or extras that he sells. His name is. He turns to like Maxwell and Buttress. What was his name? And they kind of just shrug. He's like, I don't know. He's a halfling. A halfling. He's a half tabaxi, half halfling. So do with that as you will. And if you find him, maybe he might have some extra info.
All right.
Okay.
Let's head outside. Get some more privacy.
As you step outside, you open your senses from the kind of echoey, empty space of the chapel to now the bustling, walking, just everywhere. You hear stepping on stones. You hear different kind of stuff all over the marketplace. You see hustling and bustling. You hear water and the rivers on either side very casually glip glop, glip glop. The mills in a distance very casually going with the water. As you enter this environment, what do you guys do?
Could I take a closer look at the gargoyles?
Yeah, so the primary one, the one that Father Gascon called Thompson, the menacing one, is there anything you'd like to specifically look at?
Just like a general view of it. They gave us a bad vibe and he seemed to be very off about it, so... Yeah.
Same description as before. It's a 7-foot tall statue on a 5-foot pillar off the ground. It is definitely the centerpiece, the attraction of the chapel is this giant statue in front of it. It draws attention with its large wings stretching over the little courtyard right before the entrance to the door. It is a full bulky gargoyle, but you see it looks like part mini, like 90% of its flesh has been lopped off to make a skeletal kind of underbody, with various only like a few little bits that have remainders of a gargoyle, such as half the face. Wearing it is, dark robes once again, black, gray, maybe even a little bit of brown robes wrapped around it. No hood, but definitely flowy robes that kind of lightly mask its body. Maybe even moving the robes, you can see on its chest, amongst the rib cage, right in the center, is the mark of Mercule, the sugar skull, right in the center of its rib cage. Around it, smaller, not nearly like the normal size now gargoyles, maybe like 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall at most. Kind of around the chapel. They all seem to be looking towards the center one, though. Everyone seems to be facing, almost like praising or bowing towards the center one. The center one has both arms raised to the sky, in a sense of triumph or victory. His claws popping out, mouth, jaw open in a sick, wicked grimace smile, as you see what looks to be like a stony liquid, not actual liquid, but like made of the stone, supposed to be reminiscent of blood dripping down its face.
So, I kind of want to see something, and I want to discuss it with everybody. Now, I'm going to draw a little bit of blood from me. Not enough to hurt me, but just a little bit. And I'm going to see if anything happens, per se. So, if all of you would just kind of move back.
Everyone, take a step back. I'm about to do some cool shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a beer for us to hold?
What was that?
Hold my beer, I got something.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Is everyone okay if I try this? We might. There's a possible, although slim, possible chance that if I do this, it's gonna come alive. Is that okay with everybody?
Well, something certainly seems a bit off about it, but I'm gonna stay
Wonderful.
close either way.
Okay. Now, just keep your hands on your weapons. Don't draw them, but anything can happen. Okay. As I take my sickle and I just prick my finger, both my index fingers. I face the gargoyle, and I kind of try to spread the blood in both my hands, and I do the same stance right in front of it, and then bring my hands close, and then just like throw them out again to where the blood will kind of get a little bit on the gargoyle.
As the blood splatters into the gargoyle, for like a briefest of seconds, your heart stops as you consider the idea of this massive stony figure. Just the moment the blood touches and hits its visage, turning and swiping, and for half a moment you're like, don't die, don't die, don't die. Ha! You prick it, you flick it, and nothing happens. The red droplets hit the grainy granite visage, and it slowly slides down. I will say, as the blood hits it, you see it starts to turn slowly into stony blood, very similar to the rest of the statue, as if the statue itself has absorbed the blood.
Well then,
It's interesting.
Seeing that, can I take a closer look at its claws? If there's a trace of stony blood on the claws or hands?
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
So you're gonna say initiative.
All right, everyone, roll me initiative. Imagine that, like, I end this bounty like that within the first 10 minutes.
16.
All right, 16. You
the-
observe the claws. You're definitely like, basically, are you trying to just look at him from like a distance, or are you trying to like, get up, climb up it, and like stare at the claws like face to face?
Yeah, I'm not gonna climb up on the statue, but, you know, get as close as possible without climbing it.
Okay. Just because he is off the ground, I will say that you probably even like looked to the orc and went uppies, and he, we just kind of lifted him up a little bit. Not necessarily like a full like baby, like you can lift up the whole human, but like you put your hands together, kind of like a cheerleader, and he steps up, and you're holding him up, and while staring at the claws, you do notice a very same thing to like the rest of it, where like down the mouth or the blood, or even where Cam's previous like blood splatter used to go. You see around the claws what looks to be stony blood. What used to now you assume to be blood, but stonified.
You see.
Thank you. You can put me down now.
Wonderful. By the way, clean your goddamn boots.
Okay, I will.
What did you happen to see?
There is traces of petrified blood, or whatever you can call it, on the claws. Seeing the blood you splattered on it, could
Okay.
still be, well, I'm not sure if we could call it a suspect, but the cause of all this?
I have another idea. What if we tried throwing a weapon at it, like a javelin or sort of arrow or something? Give it a little motivation to wake up if it's actually alive.
Something that might piss off our.
that would most definitely
Bounty
piss off the town.
I have another idea, if you don't mind.
Uh-huh.
I can touch it with a radiant flame.
Ooh. Definitely a much safer idea than mine.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
I just
And I will kind of approach the statue with my holy symbol. Do a little sacred flame.
Ooh, let me just look something up real quick.
Okay. It is radiant damage,
Okay.
if that matters. I don't know.
It does, but not in the way that you may have you may think. All right, so you put it over, and how do you describe the spell? I know every wizard or cleric has a slightly different way of casting it. How would you like to flavor you casting the spell?
Oh, seeing as that I'm not trying to like throw the flame, because it is a ranged spell, I will more likely just kind of channel the flame in the symbol, and kind of just touch the statue with it, and it's like a golden flame.
As you hold this golden flame in your hand and you pass over the stone, you somehow clean I guess the best way to put it is how you said it, the petrified blood. And now petrified blood, you actually end up cleaning it off the actual statue. You see the burning, almost like actual like burning and boiling of blood. It smells strangely iron-esque and fairly gross. It makes you kind of sick to your stomach for a minute as you essentially smell boiling blood as you pass it over the statue.
Why does it smell like me?
What's wrong with your blood?
The fuck?
Well, that did something. Not sure what, but
Well,
Okay. would anyone like to try to speak to it? Or actually, wait, Lizelle, is your imp guy with you?
Always here.
Hi.
He's invisible, like, behind Lizelle. One of the puppies is floating. You know,
What the
basically,
fuck?
Just
it just looks like the puppy is floating.
Eliza be floating. Anyone else see this?
I'm sure that's normal. I'm sure he'll grow out of it.
You hear the imp doing, like, airplane noises.
Kai, come back here.
Oh, sorry.
He comes back and, like, drops a puppy off at your feet.
Kai is the puppy. Its name is... I don't remember, actually. Started with an A.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm aware. Hearing the puppy's name, he literally, like, takes the puppy's mouth and goes, "My bad," and, like, opens and closes his little mouth, and then drops the puppy at your feet.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Then reappearing out of his invisibility, your imp goes,
I wouldn't be surprised if he's stolen something from one of you by now. So I'd check your pocket.
I'm going to immediately do that.
I can't really control it, but most of the time, whatever he steals happens to be harmless. He's gotta ask for it back.
"Yeah, Corvis, you're
That's
missing, like, a chicken wing from your rations."
God damn it.
He's, like, chewing on it.
Delicious.
also steak, not to alarm you, but your shoes are tied together.
Huh? Why'd you have to tell him?
Look.
So much fun with the monster. I'm just kidding.
So,
Yeah, what do you believe?
Monsieur, imp, do you want to just kind of go up there and just kind of see if you can annoy him to wake up? Not damage anything. Do not blow anything up, although that would be cool. Don't blow anything up. Don't damage anything. Just see if you can kind of, I don't know, wake him up somehow.
My duty to annoy. My passion to annoy. My duty has been fulfilled.
He gets so excited, he jumps up and starts just, like, swinging up and down. His tail, like, grabs parts of the bones and fucking starts jungle gymming all over it. He's, like, scratching his back on ribcage bones. He's very quickly starting to try his best to annoy.
Don't worry. Give me 3 hours. I'll make sure this motherfucker breaks.
Don't actually break it.
I don't believe we have 3 hours. I'd like to go get some more stuff.
Yeah. So, is anything happening up there?
No.
Great. Well, we've tried everything.
But you guys do hear behind you a crash.
What the fuck?
You
What
turn
the
around,
hell?
and 2 wagons have smashed into each other. Farmers have pumpkins and gourds everywhere. And in that moment, Lizelle, your imp, disappears.
Appears as in like he's invisible?
No,
Or
he's been killed.
What?
What?
You turn, and in that moment that you look and see the gourds, he is gone. In that puff of smoke that occurs when his magic is essentially dissipated from death, you just hear, "Ah!" and he dies.
fuck, there goes Abaddon.
Oh.
I can get it back.
Well then.
If you can get it back, then that's fine. Listen, so about that idea about throwing a spear at it, is anybody against it?
No. What the fuck?
How
Go
about
ahead.
we try some other things first?
I got a better idea.
Because gonna continue.
I think at this point we go to Father Casco and be like, what the fuck is going on with that statue? Because everything that's just happened.
Someone might need to stay out here to keep an eye on it. I don't fucking trust that thing.
That's a bad idea. No, not doing that. Why? Wait, let's not ask Father. He's just gonna be biased about it. I say we ask one of the brothers or sister.
I'm gonna summon him back, but then I'm gonna need like 10 minutes to just chill. Because that's a short rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So I'll need that to get myself all back.
Right. While that happens, we're gonna go ask some questions. Cause what the fuck?
Lizelle, you start throwing it back and doing the dance of summoning. As in the middle of the streets, you summon a belly dancer joins you, not knowing that you're summoning an imp.
It's instantaneous.
Well, in that
Anyway.
case, then never mind.
I'm not gasping in it.
The imp rises from hell as part of the ground breaks open, and an imp comes out.
Of your service.
There you are.
Are you the same guy as before?
No.
God damn it.
I had a new name. Damn it.
My name is Nail.
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 Just nail.
Nail.
Okay.
That's definitely a name.
It is a name.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
Alright.
I was wrong. It will take an hour. Why does it take so fucking long?
And in that case, the dancing continues. I was kidding.
Oh, yes.
So,
Definitely does not
Crowd
say
gathers
that.
on the-
It's
on the square.
For sure.
alright, well, we're gonna go ask questions. Lysel, if you want to moonwalk with us, you'd be more than welcome to do that.
Maybe one of us should keep an eye on it.
No, I don't like that idea.
Well,
As soon as one of us... Let's just all keep our eye on it until it's out of sight once we're in the church.
Then how about we wait for the imp to get back and we leave him here?
The imp got killed before.
Yeah, I know, but
As soon as we turned away, this is like some Doctor Who shit.
The fuck is Doctor Who?
It's a puppet play.
So, just a little insight. There was an episode where it's a bunch of angels.
I know what Doctor Who is. I was making a joke that Doctor Who doesn't.
Oh, okay.
who's
Doesn't
that?
exist in TV.
It's a puppet play of
It
a
was-
doctor with a traveling dwarf who does them.
Alright.
His name is Walt Deisnerd.
Okay.
Alright, well, while she's dancing and doing all that stuff, I'm gonna set up a few bombs.
I feel like it's more like I'm performing a seance because I'm literally summoning something from hell.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of stomping and like carving out into the ground, trying to essentially open the earth for him.
Yeah, any charcoal, incense, herbs.
Well, good thing
Fuck.
this town is apparently of Mokor. I still don't know who that god is.
I'm gonna take, while she's doing the dance, while we're all standing outside waiting, I'm gonna take the chance and take all of my tinder boxes, all of my acid vials, oils, and bottles. I'm gonna make 2 acid bombs, 2 oil bombs, and 1 regular bomb. Or 2 regular bombs.
Do you know how to make those? Like, are you proficient in like an alchemy kit?
I mean, we did make a bomb full of rabbit corpses.
You made what? Out of what?
I mean, to be fair, you just put a bunch of tinder boxes. That's kind of just putting gunpowder under rabbit corpses and blowing it up.
You do have a good point.
I would argue that making
is
a
a good-
bomb out of a glass would be slightly more complicated than like a Molotov.
Good point. Good point. All right. Well, then I'm just
You
gonna
can just
make.
buy them.
What was that?
You can probably find somewhere to buy them if you really want them.
That is a good point. Then I'm just gonna take the 2 oil flasks and I am going to just make a Molotov out of those 2.
Alright, that's pretty easy. You just take a rag, to put it in the top, and yeah, you got Molotovs.
All right, so I've got 2 Molotovs now. Considering the radiance thing that Z was doing, I figured that maybe fire might work a little bit better.
It's at this point that Sister Buttress does come out. Not because she's like trying to talk to any of you, but it appears as if she is just holding a basket.
Yo, what's in the basket?
What's in the box?
Hello. I see you're investigating the statue. Yes, I was sent real quick by Father Gascoigne to go get more pastries from the bakery on the south side of town.
While you're here, what the fuck is this thing?
You mean the statue?
Yeah?
Oh yes, the statue. It has. What would you like to know about it? It's enchanted to keep evil off of it. It's enchanted to make sure it stays stable over a long time. To self-cleaning to make sure no blood or dirt or mud or anything like that stay on it.
Yeah, speaking of blood.
So, let me just tell you exactly what happened.
Okay.
So, us being completely untrusting of large, huge stone creatures that look extremely menacing for a church that literally celebrates death.
Of course.
I basically sprayed some of my blood on it. It turned to stone. We got kind of worried about it. So one of us took an irradiance and somehow it cleaned the stone off, like the blood of stone, and there was blood on its hands apparently. And so us thinking it's alive, we sent one of our little guys to go kind of wake it up, sort of. And as soon as we turned away, just dead, gone. It was dead, like nothing else. There was no sound, there was no, like, just death.
An imp, you say?
Yes. Can you explain this?
Well,
Like, it was as soon as we looked away.
like I said, it is enchanted to protect from evil and from demonic or even angelic. Mercule is a god of neutrality. So, angelic or evil would be damaged by the statue just by touching it. The
So, Lizelle.
blood, on the other hand, I have no idea. I'm gonna be very honest, bounty hunter. It's enchanted to clean. That's because it's supposed to be a self-cleaning statue, but I don't know. I cannot explain the magic itself. I do not claim to know that.
Do you know who might know that magic?
Maybe the architect, the person who builds most of the places in Los Pelagos, Mr. Jeff.
Mr. Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Beezy's.
Where is he located on this map that I have?
Mr. Beezy's runs the stable. He's it actually points directly to the on the map, the right, but from the direction you're facing to the left. That way, right by the watermills. He owns a stable, Mr. Jeff Beezy's. He's a lizard folk shaman, wizard, sorcerer. I don't know. He never really explained to me what he is. He's just a magical person.
Okay, then. I'm gonna get as far away from that thing as possible. You are all more than welcome to stay here or do something else. I cannot be near that thing, personally.
With this, Sister Buttress does like nod her head, kind of give a very pleasant like. Well, anyway, thank you again very much for searching, and I wish you the best of luck. And she begins moving through the marketplace again.
Could we tell if she was actually going in the direction of where the bakery is?
Yeah. You were told that the herd, the Dragonborns, were actually killed, or they lived near the bakery to the south, and she is at the very least going through the marketplace towards the south.
Okay.
Could we follow her?
Absolutely, if you like.
Maybe stop
well.
by that house Marion heard did.
Catch up with you guys later then.
Oh, right.
Hey, what's going on over there?
The statue's coming alive. It's after you now.
I highly doubt that.
So I took it.
Are we going somewhere?
I don't think for a bit.
This is too complicated. I'm coming back to you guys. Hey, what's up?
Hello, welcome back.
Lizel, I would say, with all this investigation talking, you started after he died, so I would say with the investigation and talking, you'll probably have like 20 minutes left of your actual seance. Would you guys like to just wait 20 minutes until she gets her new imp friend, or no?
It's actually more like 30 minutes because I have to rest for 10 minutes to get that spell slot back.
30 minutes, so a half an hour, short rest.
And as a warlock, you know I need those spell slots because I got shit amount.
Us could splinter off and follow that lady, and the rest of us could stay here and regroup.
Okay, whether or not we want to Scooby-Doo this.
Yeah.
Literally what happened.
Raggy. Split the group.
That's the group. Because the moment we do, that motherfucker is coming alive.
Yeah.
Alright. Who wants to go?
Follow her.
Who wants to go follow?
Kind, but could just follow.
All right, Z, and anyone else with Z?
I'll go.
So that would leave Corvis, Lizel, and I know Steak's character. Hold on. Fuck it. Remind me, Steak.
It's
It's
Rocco.
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 God damn it, Rocco. All right.
Rocco's big world.
Corvis, Rocco, and Lizel. Y'all are chilling at the statue. So, your other two, you guys start tailing her. Are you trying to do like a video game mission type thing where you're like staying far back enough that she doesn't notice you? Do you want to actually try to like roll a stealth to actually get closer, maybe overhear anything, but still be stealthy? Like, what are you trying to do?
What time of day is it currently?
I would say it is mid-afternoon, maybe 3:30 p.m.
How tall are the buildings?
So as I've said in the past, the chapel is definitely the largest. It's about 4 stories tall, and it is definitely the largest building of the rest. The rest of them, at most, maybe 2 stories. I would say the largest would be the watchtowers at 3 stories tall, besides the actual chapel itself.
Well, see, we could either climb the buildings and stake them out from there, or we can just kind of risk it a little bit more and try to blend in with the crowd.
Yeah, I'm not the best climber, and this armor is kind of heavy, so. I'll
Yeah,
probably have to
this
stay
armor, and this armor I have going on right now kind of gives me a disadvantage as far as stealth-wise, so.
Same here.
Okay, well,
The 2 armored guys
Nice
doing
stealth.
stealth. Hell yeah.
Choose the worst guy to go on a stealth.
Whoopsies.
I guess go
Wow.
ahead and roll me stealth checks with disadvantage.
Maybe I should have gone.
This is the best part of role playing. Woo.
Accidents. Mistakes have been made.
Mistakes will be made.
Ooh, that's good though.
I-
That's
Lowest
not
I've got
bad.
6.
17.
Nice.
Yeah, 16 for me.
All right, you know what? I gotta say, it's not even like the normal stealth where you're having quiet. It's a lot more like behavioral. You're moving between crowds. You're observing when she would be distracted by like talking or loud noises, and you move between crowds and different things. Whenever she would like look over and possibly see you, you duck just behind the corner or maybe start talking to people. Whether or not she is like actively like wondering like, oh, who are they, what are they doing, and she has no clue, or if she notices you but she doesn't suspect you of following her. Either way, you are doing a very good job of actually like blending between crowd to crowd. And I would say going crowd to crowd, you would start to actually overhear. Both of you give me a general perception roll.
19.
Dang. A natural 20.
Whoa.
So while going, oh Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so while going crowd to crowd, you would overhear several people talking. Did you hear about, like, El Tigre, like at the theater? El Tigre, the actor. Yeah, he's so handsome, and like I hear he's like an actual tiger. Like he's like a were tiger. No, not like a were tiger. He's like an actual like magic. I think they're called like Raji or something. I don't know. And like they're like all talking back and forth. But then you also overhear, hey, did you see the other day at night? And it's just one person. I swear, the statue is missing in front of the church. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I was just tired. Or maybe I didn't even. Maybe I wasn't even in front of the church just like I thought. It could have been somewhere else. But I thought I saw the church statue missing.
Z, I'm hoping you heard that too.
I did, yeah.
Okay, well, that means we only got a few hours to spare. So, let's get this done. Let's go back before nightfall.
Following her, she does eventually just go to the bakery. You guys follow her all the way towards the bakery. You would also see the guardhouse to the south. You see several guards, even a few on horseback actually coming out of the side of the guardhouse, probably like a training area, and start doing patrols along the actual main road. As night starts to fall, you see a few people actually come from the guardhouse, younger men in robes, holding candles, and they start running towards parts of the city with braziers and lighting them up. As the sun does start to come down and dust starts to turn, Lysel, from the ground, while they're following.
Hello, master. It is I, Nail.
Greetings, Neil. You'll be having me out from now on.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. What mischief shall we get into?
Let's see. Well, they just left 30 minutes ago, so I'm not sure what they're doing by now, but what do you think we should do? You're gonna turn to Corvis and...
Coco.
Well, Rocco's a god of death, correct?
Yeah, it's a god of, like, the cycle of death. You know, living and dying.
Huh. You think... I'm going to do what Cammy did when the first time the statue pricked the blood, but instead of just flicking onto the statue, I'm going to touch the actual symbol of Mokol. Is this a bright idea? No. I'm still going to do it.
So, you prick your finger, and as you touch it, this time it's a little different. This time, when you touch it with your blood, instead of flicking it, you physically put your finger to it. You start to feel a burn, and you pull away for just a second, and you look on the very tip of your finger is petrified.
Well, that's kind of fucked up. I'm going to show this to Rocco and Lisa. As they'll die. What? Definitely something.
Might just
Odd.
be the enchantment because you touched your finger on it.
True.
Could be.
The guy that, what was his name? Kronk?
Crump?
One of the paladins? Yeah. He said that there was, like, that figure... Where did he say that he saw it? At the graveyard?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Behind the chapel.
We could start investigating there. It's close by. It's, like, right around the corner, right? Since we're already at the chapel.
You just go through the chapel and end up in the graveyard, or you can investigate the outside by going around that, of course.
Did the brother tell us what time of day he saw this statue? That's the person?
No, but that's just because it wasn't asked.
Let's go check out the graveyard.
Alright, you guys start walking towards the graveyard. At this point, Cammy and Z, you guys would actually stop at the bakery. You see that she just stops and is talking to a very pretty orc with very lovely braids going down her hair. She seems to be very well taken care of, dressed up very nicely, and they seem just to be conversing while she purchases some pastries.
Well, we got that figured out.
Do we stick around or head back?
Yeah, let's head back to the statue, like, as fast as possible. Because that was pretty damning information that we just got.
Gotcha. You don't want to check out the crime scene while you're down here.
What time is it now?
It is, let me see, it's been about 30 odd minutes since you left, so about maybe 4:10.
We only have 2 hours. So, 2 options. We go investigate the crime scene and do that, or we take the half hour to go back to the statue, kind of let them know what the hell we just heard, and we come up with a plan to possibly investigate once night falls. Up to you.
I think we should go back, yeah. We could go to the crime scene later. The whole
Yeah.
party.
Yeah. Tomorrow we can split off and go see that El Tigre guy as well as crime scene at the same time. Alright, well, let's hurry on back.
Alright, as you guys hurry on back, we switch to the graveyard. Entering through the church, Brother Crumpt, who is just cleaning, nods to you. Oh, if you're going to the graveyard, make sure to lock the gate. We don't want our we have a guard dog back there, Snuffles. Just make sure he doesn't get out, please.
Got it.
And going through the back, you actually do see Mr. Snuffles. He is just a black lab, chained up towards the kind of like the entrance of the actual church. He doesn't look. If you look at him, he doesn't have like any marks on his neck or anything like that. Like he's always collared. It looks like he is let off his chain, and you see dog marks and paw prints kind of trailed throughout the little graveyard area. So it does look like he runs around and protects the area. He wags his tail.
I'm assuming the puppies that I have would be playing with him.
Oh,
He's not
he is
into them.
so excited. He's like, he barely gets to see other dogs, and Snuffles just starts playing with them, rolling on his belly back, and like having the pups jump on his belly. He's like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." It seems like he is currently babysitting your dogs.
That's good.
While in the back, you guys see gravestone after gravestone and a building in the back. You assume this is the altar to those who are lost that Krump brought up. The altar not to those who are dead, but those with unknown fates.
Well, not much here besides that altar. We could go check that place out.
Can I do a little investigating first? Maybe if this guy left, like, I don't know, footprints or something, or
Would you like to do
anything
investigation or
first?
survival?
Let me see which one's higher.
Same.
My survival was actually higher.
My investigation's higher, so
One of each?
yeah.
Hey, not too bad. A 19.
And a night.
Alright, you know what, you two fucking detectives? You notice while you're investigating, you're looking around, and the area that Crom kind of generally stated that the guy would be on the kind of more the eastern side of the altar. You go exactly to where the altar itself, where Kronk said he was when he was actively trying to clean and saw the figure. You walk over, and you see ever so slightly, kind of ripped, not big time, I would say Corvis, because your investigation. You can find a slight rip of cloth. It is a red burgundy cloth. Some might even say blood red cloth.
Well then, I'm going to take the cloth back to Rocco and Roselle and show it to them. This is what I found over by near the altar where Brother Cronk said the guy was.
This will be useful.
Lizelle, with your survival check, you hold the actual piece of cloth itself, and you can tell that it's not stained blood. It's not like it has anything like that. It's a pure burgundy red, or even blood red robe. But as you are investigating, you do notice a particular smell. You maybe bring it up to you. You huff it a little bit. You're like, what is that smell? And it smells. Gosh, I don't know how else to say it other than like it smells like a mix of fresh baked bread, seating, tickets, costumes. It's something old and dusty about it.
At least sniff the cloth. Something odd about this. Can't really explain it, but
I would say even without
Definitely.
the survival, just now that Lizelle pointed out, you other two, you guys can see Coco and Corvus. You guys can like kind of smell it now too. If she holds it up to you, you kind of ever so lightly sniff it. You wouldn't have picked it up at first, unless she pointed it out. But it does. It smells like a mix of fresh baked bread, and at the same time something dusty, old, maybe even storage. Like when you have like a piece of clothing that has been stored for too long. That kind of almost dusty smell that comes with it.
That smells off. No clue. The fresh bread smell makes me think of the bakery. I have no clue where that other stank comes from.
well, maybe we'll see what the others have found. They were heading in that direction.
It is true.
Alright. Well, if there's nothing else, then where else?
I'm going to whistle for Xena to come over. So can I see the cloth?
Here you go.
And once Xena's over, I'm going to put the cloth to her nose and tell her to sniff and see what happens.
She's a puppy.
Yeah, I was gonna say the puppy sniffs.
She's a puppy that's still a doggo.
Puppies aren't trained though.
Yeah, I was gonna say she sniffs it and doesn't know what to do with it. Like she sniffs it and like looks at you, tilts her head.
I should have expected this.
You might need a bit more training. How old are they by now? Actually, like a couple, like maybe like a couple months.
Yeah, like a couple months now. They definitely like it.
Oh.
It's definitely a very how I say a competent dog. Like she sniffs it. Xena definitely sniffs it, and you can tell she's picked up like definitely the scent, but she doesn't know what you want her to do with it.
Yeah, they're old enough to like be able to come when called and stuff, but anything more complicated might take a little bit.
Yeah.
But it definitely will come in handy. Who knows? Maybe if we're around somewhere that she picks up a similar scent, she may instinctually follow it.
Hopefully. If there's nothing else here, like you said, we should probably go.
Where else can we investigate? Because I don't know that they're heading back, so I'm just thinking, like, what's the next thing to do?
There is the altar and anything else around the chapel. You haven't really investigated the chapel. That's also just nearby, just so you know any landmarks. So there's a chapel, there's the altar to those who are lost, you haven't investigated it itself, and anywhere nearby the actual chapel, I guess like the surrounding areas.
You think that cloth could have come from this altar?
Perhaps it was over by there.
Did we see anyone wearing a similar color while we were in there?
Well, we haven't gone to the altar, and did we notice what color the sister and the brothers were wearing?
Yes, it is gray robes.
Well, they wear gray robes, so it could be from them. And this is close to blood. Also, the altar in the chapel itself.
Yeah, I suppose it still wouldn't hurt to look while we're here.
Yeah, let's go investigate the altar to the lost.
Okay, so you go to the altar to the lost. It is a grand stone altar with the sugar skull of Mercule imagery alongside all of it. It has this beautiful Dodeco style kind of architecture, old style, kind of carved into it. It's very fancy, very fanciful. Over it, you do see a gray tablecloth with several candles all around it, and you see nameplates and drawn pictures of people. You see, you wouldn't see Hurd or Mary, but you do see Liam, as he's not confirmed dead or alive yet. You do see his imagery along with a few others. One that's another particularly fresh one right next to Liam's. You would see a what looks to appear to be a ranger with his hound. Other than that, not really anything else. It's just a very quiet, solemn moment as you look at all these names. People not known to be dead, alive, no closure, kidnapped, disappeared, left, went missing. Whatever many reasons, they're unknown what their fate is.
Corvis, instead of investigating, he's going to probably go to the altar and do a quick prayer for the person he has lost.
I didn't know you were religious.
I'm not really. It's just someone in my past.
With that, you're not religious, so at no point do you ever, if you've said a prayer for this person or of any sort of remembrance, do you ever feel much? It's besides your own eternal kind of struggle, right? But for this one moment, this brief moment when you say that prayer, you feel this something. You don't know. It's something deep inside you. It feels like you've been heard. Whether or not you meant it to be, whether or not you want it to be, this prayer to a lost one and a lost soul of your life is heard, and you feel it.
Well then, let's get back to investigating. Hopefully we can find Mr. Liam. And with that, I'm going to probably turn to turn and investigate.
All right. So yeah, so for investigation wise, the actual altar itself has nothing of major significance besides just a solemn set of items. No, I would say if you investigate, you would notice one feature. I would have to give you this: the Hound Master and the Ranger and his Hound. You do notice that in the background of the image, it is the traveling farmers market. Which, since they've only been here for about, what you seem a few days, means this must be a pretty fresh offering.
I'm going to point that out to Rocco and Roselle. Say, well, this must be recent. We were told that, well, we figured out that this traveling farmers market was only the way to reach it.
People to go ask questions when we have the chance.
Yeah. Our main suspect, I don't think our main suspect's going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Well, the market is right outside the temple.
And if you like that video and like to see more content, please drop a like and subscribe to Wolfer28, or give us a follow and a rating on both Spotify and iTunes as Bardic Logs. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you next time.